Hey, are you ready? Welcome to the Say Michael podcast. Hey. Hello. Welcome to the Say Michael podcast. One man's attempt at business, family, and comedy. I'm your host, Michael Aigbedion, and welcome to episode 24, the big 2-4. You know what they say about 2-4, 24 hours. We all have 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with yours? That's the question. What are you doing with your 24 hours right now? I'm curious. If you want to hit me up and let me know what you're doing with your 24 hours, I can tell you what I'm doing with mine. I'm focusing on making these calls. You know what I mean? Hitting the phones, focusing on that, because that's what's building my business, building me, building the brand. And I can tell you this pivoting that I've been doing has been working. And I recommend it to anybody who's trying to do bigger and different things in this climate, because I must say that in the next we're looking at another 6 months to a year or even more in the climate that we're in right now. Because if you're looking at the last 150 years of the biggest pandemics and epidemics, they lasted years. And we'll be lucky if we could get out of this in the next 6 months to a year. So I would say, don't wait for anybody to come save you. Don't wait. Go get it on your own. Because as long as you got you're good. But the hitting the phones has been great. I'm gonna tell you why it's been so great. But I got a interesting, surprising call today. And, it was a customer who was looking for services. So, I was like, it's Michael with the Water Boys. And she's like, hey, how you doing? I was looking to get your car wash services to my home. I was like, okay, sure. And I was kind of going through all the prices and what we do and all that. And she's like, okay, great. And at one part of the conversation, she was like, excuse me, who owns this business? I was like, I own this business. And she was like, and I was like, is everything okay? And she was like, I'm sorry, I was trying to support a black owned business. I'm sorry. I was like, I'm black. And she's like, oh, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. I was like, yeah, I'm black. And she's like, okay, good for you. Good for you. Let's proceed. And I was like, I almost said I'm Nigerian, but imagine if I said that. I don't even know what would have happened. If I said I'm Nigerian, she would have been like, oh no, I'm sorry. I only support people who are from America. Cling, she hung up on me. I'm like, I'm still black though. And that's what you got to remember. I'm black too. Because through this whole, uprising and or this attention to the whole, support black business, African businesses are black businesses too. Jamaican businesses are black businesses too. Because I'm looking on some of these lists and there's some places that are missing. When you're talking about places in Houston, Glazed Donuts, that's not on the list when it comes to restaurants. I'm not saying finger licking. Finger Licking's a fire restaurant in Houston. Not seeing that on the list. There's some places down here that I'm not seeing on the list. You see a few places that are like maybe Nigerian or Jamaican, like Jamaican Gates and Kemi's Kitchen, but you're not seeing the popular ones. But you see like even Pangea. That's a black-owned business, black-owned restaurant here in Dallas, and there's some. I just want to make sure there's a reminder that hey, we're black too. And I know the woman on the phone, she didn't recognize the voice, I guess, but it's all good. I've never, at least in the years I've been doing my business, I've never labeled it as, like, hey, black-owned business, and it never really occurred to me, but I thought it through, and maybe the focus of what my business is not to label it, not to, you support it because you're my friend, not to support it because you like me or anything like that. Support it because you need the business, that it's actually something that could help you. I want you to support my business because it's good, not because of any other label. And the reason I say that is because how am I supposed to last if part of the success of my business is based on my personal identity? Because I'm not going to be here forever. And I want this business to last forever into the future and the future's future. My business has to be successful in its most raw form. I'm talking about without the antics, without the newness of it, and the promotion, advertising. People would need to at least have a certain level of demand for what we do. Because look, you see every now and then you might see an Amazon commercial, but Amazon is in demand. More in demand than their ads could ever do. So my focus, my business is not to be labeled as a Black-owned business, but if you're in the business of supporting Black, hey, I'm Black. Support me, because your boy needs the support. This is a Black-owned podcast. This is the Black-owned car wash, and this is a Black-owned barber school. So support me. I need it, and we all need it, because the better I do, the more it improves everyone else. They said waves lift all boats. But yeah, me hitting the phones, that strategy right there is murdering them. Because right now we're in pre-COVID status right now. I'm doing better than I was before COVID-19. Let's get it. I'm talking about I'm doing much better. And the reason why is that I'm reaching back to customers from like 3 years back, calling them, 2 years back, calling them. And not only am I rekindling that relationship, but I'm taking advantage of the fact that no one's hitting them up right now. No one's hitting them up door to door. No one's hitting them up on the phones. I remind them what we do, how good that we are at doing it, and how we can help. It's funny because I'll be like, hello, am I speak to Cindy? Yeah, this is Cindy. I'm like, hey, Cindy, this is Michael with the Waterboys Car Wash. We cleaned your white Range Rover in the past. Do you remember? Where at? I'm like, this place. You got it cleaned with us at North Park? Oh, yes. Hey, how are you? I'm great. Well, we have a mobile car wash that comes to your home to clean your vehicle. Is that something you might be interested in? And I wait. I'm like, and then they're like, yeah, that's actually something I'll be interested in. All right, let's go. And from that point on, I hit them with whatever, because, there's a balance of conversation to keep them engaged. So I'm like, depending on what they ask, they'll say, okay, yeah, how much does it cost? I'm like, we have a $25 interior only, and that's cup holder, dash, trim, extensive vacuum, wipe down. And then we have our exterior, wheels, tires, body, and windows for $30. And if you want to do the exterior plus vacuum only, that's $35. If you want to do the full interior inside out, cup holder, dash, trim, wheels, tires, body, and windows, we're looking at $50. And if you want to add the doors to get those clean, the door pockets, leather conditioner, spray wax on the outside, nice wheel polish, you're looking at $75. That's our signature special. Okay. Then we have our mini detail that includes a shampoo your mats, a deodorizer on your interior, leather clean and condition, and a hand wax on your exterior. Okay, that's one. That's that. How much is that one? That's $125. I like that. Let me do that one. Okay. So do you have just one vehicle? Actually, I have 3 vehicles, and that goes another direction. So once I hit like 2 minutes, I've already realized, look, I got to lock in some details before like they start running. So I get all the information, their name. I already have their first name. I get their last name. I get the email. I get where we're going, what they want, all that. Then I have to get the last piece of pertinent information. It's pertinent. And it's their credit card. And the reason I ask for that credit card is because when you book online on your own, like at least for our service, you have to put in your credit card, and it doesn't charge you, but it holds it. And the reason why is because it lets me know that you're serious. And in the past, I used to leave that open where people could just kind of pay based on when they want to pay. People just book, and people used to book. Yeah, I had higher bookings, but I had higher cancellations. Once you have that credit card attached, it's almost like they know I can't go running without, because they got my information. So that's usually the last thing I'm like, and like after I have all the information, the email, everything, I'm like, okay, we're gonna send you a confirmation email. Do you have a credit card that we can hold? And that's when it's like, oh, here we go. Because the people are like, oh, no, I'm not really comfortable give my credit card. It's all good. Like I told you, I only want people who support my business, who need my business. So if she didn't need it, obviously she's not concerned with putting on a credit card. Some people are like, I'm like, hey, we're going to need a credit card to put it on hold. It doesn't charge you. Oh, sure. Hold on. 443267. They don't even care. They don't care at all. They just trying to get their cars clean. that's the real people. Even a guy today is a pastor in Duncanville, and he was trying to get he's trying to like nickel and dime me on the cost, but he got 5 cars done at one single time. He's a church, he's a pastor, and he kind of tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. That's why I gave him a better, sweeter deal, sugarcane sweet deal, because he was like, I've been feeding families and I haven't got a chance to get the cars clean, but I really need them clean. I was like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, I've been busy trying to help people through this whole COVID. And I was just like, okay, well, yeah, we could get over there. And, got over there, blew him away, pause. And, yeah, it was a great day. And it's funny because when I talked about earlier about, people like me being on the phone, one time a customer called me and, she was like, I'm looking for Michael. I was like, yeah, this is Michael. So we're talking. Then, she wanted to meet me to go, show me where her vehicle was. So I'm in the garage and she sees me and like, I'm like, hey, and she like stops. Like, I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for someone. And I was like, okay. So I'm just standing there and she's like looking around, going, walking. Then she comes back to me. She's like, are you Michael? I'm like, yeah, I'm Michael. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I feel like that happened. That's the same reason that woman was surprised when she called me thinking that I wasn't black owned business, because on the phone or even in person, I don't sound like your normal, what I would think they think black person. I think they think I am a white person, and what the business I have is ran by a white person. I don't know what their assumptions are. I've never gotten that far into like understanding what someone knows about or why someone thinks the way they think. But I get a lot of surprise when people just don't expect me whenever it comes to owning this business or running the business at all. It's pretty surprising. But yeah, like I was saying, everyone got that stimulus drip right now. So if you want to support, spend some of that stimulus bread, because the money that people have been spending has gone up. Like last year, I mean, we were up 18% from May than what it was last year. But we're finding that it's actually people who don't have money. The rich or the wealthy aren't spending like that. So they said it's the middle to lower income. So those stimulus checks, that are going out, the extra federal stimulus, that's what's contributing to like all this extra spending, because I'm seeing y'all out there with these Gucci belts. I'm seeing that. I see you with the new Gucci belt and the new Gucci drip. And, if you got that new Gucci belt, that new Gucci drip, go ahead and support your boy. And, support yourself. Invest in yourself. I can say that. If you're using any money that you get, have fun with it. But then also put a little bit to the side. Put a little bit to the side and invest in yourself, because this is the time to pivot. This is time to unlearn, relearn, and unknow things of the past, and to reinvent yourself and to put yourself in a better position for what's to come. Because, this has been a crazy year, and, you can't say, I don't know if it'll get crazier, because it could. No one knows what's coming next. But I do know that, like we're in this together, but then we're also going at it alone, at least until November, at the very least, until we get either a new president or something changes. Because right now, like the fact that the whole COVID-19 pandemic task force is being like dismantled, they're leaving it up to states, and they're leaving it up to like you as an individual to watch out for yourself. So it's pretty much every man for himself, which is not bad, because right now there's a lot of things that are happening that could distract you from working on yourself, because it's easier to be distracted than it is to work on yourself. I know that. I'd rather do fun stuff and things my brain enjoys and my body enjoys, like laying in the bed or watching a movie or anything like that, than doing things that are going to help me become a better person. And that's the real work. No one likes doing that type of work. And I want to say nobody, I say nobody, because the work, what I think work really is, work is like the things of your art that you don't really want to do. Like, you might find an artist who paints really well, but then when they have to invoice and sell and work up sales and do all like their website, whatever it might be, those are the parts, that's the work. The part that you enjoy, I don't really consider in anybody's position work. If you love playing basketball, if you love painting, if you love DJing, if you love singing, that's not the work. The work is like trying to promote yourself, or dealing with like the scams, or dealing with the people who trying to take advantage of you and your kindness, or whatever it is that you're trying to bring to the market. And that's the work. That's the part where no one really likes doing, because there's some form or some part of your business or some part of what you do that's just not fun. It's just not fun at all. It's something that you rather delegate to somebody else or have someone else do it, but then you have to know it. You have to learn it for yourself. So therefore, no one can take advantage of you. But what better time now to work on yourself? Again, like than right now, because you got the time. Again, we're slowly going back into like reopening. All like the cases are going back up, and that's why I'm like, oh, I'm hoping y'all are staying safe, because you got to go out, wear a mask. You can't get too comfortable. And like cases today, like just in Texas alone today, we're above 400 cases, which is the highest. And now we have over 15,000 cases in Texas. So, it's just, we're seeing more higher hospitalizations. So I just want people to understand that it is real out there, and that you don't want to put yourself in a position to where either being quarantined, or you get sick, or you might get a loved one sick. The threat is still out there, even though you can't see it. But, this is the time to work on yourself. But, one person who needs to work on herself right now is B. Simone. But I'm not judging, because she wrote this book, her first book, called How to Manifest the Life You Want. Actually, I think it's Baby Girl, Manifest the Life You Want. And this is her first book. And the downside of her first book is that it came back as there's some plagiarism in her book. And that's a really serious thing, especially with any type of copyright. And there's parts in her book that were taken from other like content creators online. Now, the thing that kind of bothered me about this, which I feel like she needs to work on, is the fact that she said that she's taking full accountability for what she did. If you take full accountability for what you're doing, that means you do not mention anybody else. But she blamed her team and then contradicted herself and said, I'm taking full accountability. You can't do both. It's almost like she just played herself. Like, I take full accountability for what it is. But my team, what they did things that I didn't agree with. And the people, first off, it's your book. Did you not read your own book? And even crazier about the whole thing is that, all right, if you write a book that's based on how to manifest things, and the things that are in the book didn't have anything to do with how you manifest things, then what is that book? The book is worthless. If the things that you're talking about that you as the author put in that book and that you didn't do for yourself, or that, you let a team go out and, find things to put in the book, it just seems as if, what was the purpose of the book? Because if you didn't use the things within that book to help you, but yet you put the things in there to help others, contradiction. That's a contradiction. I don't get what the focus is. So she kind of exposed herself on this one, but I must also expose other people's hypocrisy, because people upset with her because she got caught. And let me just say, the majority of people have cheated in class. The majority of people have plagiarized. Not saying that you listening have done it, but most people who are trying to point the finger have done something that's not so savory. And, it's so easy to blame her because she got caught, but, you should just hope that she gets better from this and that she matures and that she understands what she did and just, does better going forward. Because you don't want to cancel everybody just because they made a mistake. And I get it. You want people to be at the top who are pure, have clean intentions, great character, all that. That's a luxury to have. But how will they get there if you want them to lose everything they've ever worked for? I understand having consequence to their actions. That I'm for. But the canceling thing, that needs to stop. Because we're starting to want to cancel our own. And by our own, I'm talking the people of our culture. I'll never cancel someone in my family because they made a mistake. And I consider someone who looks like me and I relate to, family. So I'm not calling B. Simone family. I don't really know her like that, but I do know that we relate. And, I hope she learns from what she did and does better. Hopefully she can manifest a solution to this whole situation, because this is a hard one, because this one she's going to lose all the proceeds from her books. That's usually what happens. Anything, because who knows? Like, when it comes to copyright, some people might have said, oh, I go to that book specifically for the part that she stole. So basically her book could just be all attributed to whatever she stole. So more likely she's going to have to give all that money back, pay back fees and lawyer fees and all that. And I feel bad for her. But since we're talking about books, there's a guy named Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he had this tweet. This is happening after, people were talking about the whole George Floyd and the police brutality. And he dropped this tweet, which is a little cryptic, but you got to read between the lines on it. He says, WTF, why do we worship felons, losers, weirdos, and people without power or success? Why do we attack our police who protect us from the losers? Why do our gutless leaders kiss the losers' asses? The police should take a month off. Let losers and leaders kiss each other's asses. And if you read between the lines, because he's not going to get explicit, he's not going to be super clear, because he knows the consequences of that. So he kind of was like covert with what he was saying. But either he's calling black people losers, the ones who are, which is the moment that's happening right now, or he's calling the people who police have in custody, or who the police have interactions with, losers. But one thing that Robert Kiyosaki forgot, is that even if you're a loser, you don't deserve to die. You don't deserve to die, especially at the hands of police, and especially at the hands of anybody else. No one deserves to die because they're a loser and because they don't have power or success. I don't know what ivory tower he's standing on to think that someone needs to be a certain, like he's different than anybody else. He's no different. I don't care what he achieved or what he put together in his life. He's no different. And he's acting as if he wasn't a loser. For someone, who's been afforded the successes of his hard work, and for him to forget that he didn't start where he is now. So the fact that he's over here calling people losers is like beyond, so I feel like he's a little out of touch with that one, calling particular people losers. And I want to know who the losers are, but I know he's not going to say who it is. But he did delete that tweet. And, people were talking about cancel his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. First off, unfortunately, you can't cancel a book like that. That book has, the information of the book is already out. You can't cancel the book. So the information's already out. It's been out for a long time. and it's valuable information. So at the end of the day, you might not agree with what he had to say. Hopefully you don't take it personally and that you just focus on yourself and the information and how you apply it. And maybe you could apply it in a more creative way and do better than what he did. But that's not a person you want to support. You don't have to support him. But everyone's entitled to their opinion, and they're entitled to their bad timing. And Robert Kawasaki, I hope he learns from that, because everyone's going through it right now. Even one of my favorite comics, Chris D'Elia, he has a congratulations podcast, which I'm looking forward to listening to this next episode, because he just got hit with sexual assault allegations, or almost like, I guess, I'm not even sure if it's sexual assault, but misconduct. But, he's like a 38-year-old comedian. And when he was like, from like him being 38 all the way to like 29, 30, he's like hitting up minors, like girls below the age of 18, having conversations and saying, hey, let's cuddle, and like, hey, let's make out, and doing all these things, and like hitting them with winky faces, and like super weird creep like stuff. And if you don't know Chris D'Elia, he already acts like a younger dude. Not to say that it makes sense, but he already acts like he's kind of a kid. And for him to have a podcast, and to him to have, he already has a Netflix special. And for these allegations, when these allegations come out, they stick. And this woman, she brought the receipts. She was talking about, like, he's asking for a number, even though, like, she says, I'm 17, you're 30, you're too old for me. And he's basically like, yeah, but you gave me your number before I lost it. Give me your number. And he's being super thirsty. And it's just unfortunate that, behavior like that has to be, like, exhibited by a person at this level. It's, man, it sucks. And I hope that, everyone heals from that situation, because that's wild. Chris D'Elia, more power to him. And also, we were talking about this whole people canceling Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima's syrup and Aunt Jemima's pancake mix. They're going to change the name. This is Quaker Oats. They said they're going to change the name, and they're going to change the artwork that's on the front, because they have a black woman, who is Aunt Jemima, but that's like code talk for like Mammy, the woman, like who helps run the house during slave times. And it's unfortunate that is the way that the brand, because again, it's a made up brand, and they use certain things of black caricatures to sell their brand or to sell their product. And they're making a switch. So people are starting to change. Things are starting to happen. And hopefully more change comes, because these are wild times, and, we're here for it. I just hope that, here's another thing that, if you're ever thinking about getting out of this country, not that you would, but the easiest places to become successful and then become rich, I had to look this up, because I'm like, if it wasn't America, where would it be? I'm thinking obviously like Canada or something like that, but you'll be surprised. Okay, USA, we're number 6 on this list. Number 1, New Zealand, and number 2, Singapore. So I'm like, okay, I can do business in New Zealand. This is super easy to do it there and to rise up. And Singapore, and then I think number 5 was like South Korea, Denmark, and Hong Kong. Those are the spots if you're ever trying to get out of the U.S. Not saying you should, but if you ever wanted to know where you could go to be like, where the other places you could go to become a success in the easiest way. I didn't know USA was number 6. So to find that out, very humbling, because I didn't know there's places that are better and have better freedoms and things like that than the US. But you live and you learn. But take this time, like I said, to unknow people, unlearn things, unknow past things that didn't help you or won't help you into the future, because we're in trying times, and you want to put yourself in a position where you win. That's all that we really, I guess that's all that we all ask for. So thank you for joining me on this part of my podcast. Now enjoy a conversation with me, myself, and Bly. Peace out. See you later. Hello. How you doing?
Good.
Where the energy at?
It's late.
Yeah, it is late. You had a long day.
Mm-hmm.
A very long day.
Too long.
So you want to get it right into it?
Sure.
So today, Bly was involved in a somewhat scary incident today at work, where there's an active shooter in the Galleria. And this happened around I think 5:36.
Yeah, like a little after 6.
Yeah, and thank God she's safe, and everyone in the store and all the shoppers. But I think there was one person who got shot though.
One person did get shot. Yeah, they were shooting at Nordstrom's, which is not too far from our store.
And yeah, which is almost like a block away, right? So do you know the situation, or let's break down a little bit what happened.
Well, they just said somebody got into an altercation.
No, I mean you're doing your thing in the store, and then all of a sudden, what happened?
People just started running.
Man.
Yeah, my manager said that he was at the front of the store and he heard the gunshots. And he just started screaming, telling everybody to run to the back of the store. And I happened to already be at the back, so I just see people running past me, and I'm just like, wait, what's happening? And he's like, I need you to lead everybody to the back. And when I say back, I mean through the stock room to the back alleyway. So we had maybe I would say about 30 people, customers.
30 people including y'all?
Yeah, I guess including us. 2 kids, 2 dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, people brought their dogs to shop with them. And we all had to run through the back of the store, outside. And, we all just had to be really, quiet. And some people were crying because we didn't really know what was happening. We just heard gunshots and we just ran.
Yeah.
So we didn't find out until...
Was anybody hysterical?
Yeah.
They were?
Yeah. We're not
screaming,
but people were just asking a lot of questions, and people were crying because we thought, we didn't know what to think. We didn't know what happened. We didn't know what was happening. We just thought, what we knew was someone was in a mall shooting. We didn't know if it was somebody going around just doing a mass shooting. It's
kind of like your worst nightmare.
Yeah. You hear about people going to, to movie theaters, and then someone just goes in there and just start a random shooting. Ooh. And people do it in malls too, and churches, and all these places. So
that was going through your mind at this time?
Yeah.
Oh, you were thinking, you were reflecting.
Everyone was.
What is this?
Yeah, everybody. We all thought that somebody was there to kill everybody in the mall. So we just all ran and we hid, and we were there for maybe maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Where'd y'all hide?
Well, we all left out the stock room which is
to the back.
Which is into the back, I don't want to say it's like a hallway, but it kind of looks like an alley because it's in the mall, but it's outside of the mall. So if you don't work in a mall, you would never know this hallway exists. Yeah. And so this is the way that mall employees come in and out of their stores. So it's the back of the store. So we all kind of stayed there. And like I said, we were there for maybe 20, 30 minutes. And then that's when we found out that, there was an altercation in Nordstrom's on the 3rd floor. And that ended up where someone got shot. But we happened to hear it all the way on our side of the mall. So some people decided to leave after that when we found out it was an altercation. Most of the customers stayed because everybody was just scared. They didn't know. None of the customers even knew where we were, where we were hiding. So we had to tell them, okay, where did you park? So we had to point and tell them which way to go. And they were just panicking. So they just all decided to kind of stay with us.
So when y'all ran into the back, the little alley area or whatever, customers didn't come with y'all?
Yeah, they came with us.
Okay.
Yeah, they came with us. But when we got clear from the police officer saying that, okay, you guys can leave the mall and go to your cars. Customers were panicking because we were going to let them out of the back way to leave the mall. But they were like, we don't even know where we are, because like I said, they're not familiar with that area. So we had to let them back into the store, back into the main entrance, into the mall to exit the mall. I know it sounds confusing, but
it's all good.
Yeah, it's really confusing. But yeah, so it was a lot of panic and chaos and a lot of emotions. People were like shocked and surprised and confused. And then some people were crying and some people were like laughing. It was a lot. It was it's
too much.
Yeah, it was so emotional. Even I was just like, what the hell is happening right now? So, like I said, we found out it was just an altercation and we got cleared to go back into the mall. So we let all the customers go. We just locked the doors. But we, the employees, we were still in the store, like shutting everything down, like closing the registers, doing our normal closing duties. But we were doing it a lot quicker because we was like, okay, we need to hurry up and get out. All of a sudden, I'm in the back, leaving, the restroom that we have in our store. And I hear my manager screaming, everybody out, get out right now, get out right now. And I just remember running towards the front of the door and I just see the SWAT team just there with their guns like, you guys need to get out the store right now. Just like cursing and screaming.
How many was a bunch of them?
It was like 3 or 4.
And they had the guns drawn.
Yeah, they were ready. So
so when you were running out, they pointed right at you? Like where on your body were they pointing?
Well, I was far away. I just see their guns up and then I see them put their guns like down, like kind of hiding it a little bit. So I'm just running with my hands up because I don't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do. And my manager, it was so funny. He was just like, no, Bly, what are you doing? Put your hands down. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like my hands are up and we all have on masks. We have on gloves. They don't know, you know what I mean, who I am. So I'm just like, and especially because I came running towards them because all I'm hearing is get out the store. I hear a lot of screaming. So I'm running towards them just like, I don't know. I work here, And so they're yelling like, go get your things, go get your keys, your purse, get everything that you can. So I just run, grab everything that I can. And then as I'm running out, they're still screaming like, you didn't have to grab everything. And I'm like, y'all said grab. And they're like, just get the F out, just screaming. I'm just like, okay, I'm just.
So, hold on, who said you didn't have to grab it?
The SWAT, the members of the SWAT team.
So they're like micromanaging?
Yes. They told us go get the stuff. And then when we go get it, they're like, no, I didn't tell you grab everything. Because I grabbed everything. I went and grabbed my purse. But I'm like running. I even went in the fridge to get my lunch bag. I was like, I'm going to grab everything. And then one of my coworkers, he didn't have a chance to grab anything. So we all made it out, but, we all had our car keys and everything. But one of my supervisors, he didn't have anything. So it was just weird and forced outside of the mall. We had to stand outside of the hotel, the Westin, where we're connected to, which my car was parked at the Westin Hotel, but I couldn't even move because there was so many news reporters standing there. It was just like a bunch of traffic. It was so many people standing there watching this all unfold, which I thought was weird. I'm like, if there's someone shooting, why would there be so many bystanders?
I guess everyone felt safe because maybe like police are in the building.
Maybe, but I just didn't feel safe. We were all standing outside and we were kind of far away from what was happening because that's where the police kind of pointed us to stand close to. But my car happened to be all the way on the other side of where we were standing. So I'm like, oh, great. I have to walk through this nonsense. But luckily, one of my managers was parked where we were standing. So it was like, okay, well, everybody jump in her car. Then she can drive us to our vehicles and drop everybody off because we couldn't walk through anything. Yeah, I would be on the news because I would have to walk through like the news reporters. It was just so weird. I've never been through anything like that in my life. So I'm just like, 2020, you are the worst.
Hold on, real quick. Did you feel unprepared?
No, I didn't feel unprepared because
I've been through that, like a drill.
No, we've never had like an actual drill, but we've been questioned and quizzed. Okay, if this happens, what do you do?
Did that come into play when this happened?
Well, not for me because I was caught off guard. Because like I said, I was already in the back of the store, like helping customers. So when the gunshots was heard, I didn't hear them. And so when I hear my manager screaming and people running, I didn't hear what he said. I just see people running. So just naturally, you see people run, you run too. Yeah. And then my manager is instructing me to lead the way. Like, tell the people where to go. I'm just like, I don't even know what's can somebody explain to me? You know, I'm like, can we pause and like come explain to me what's happening? So that was just so weird. And
that's what Mike Tyson said. Everyone has a plan until they get hit in the mouth or hit in the face, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where you think that you'll know what to do whenever that time comes. You prepare for it, but then when it happens, you're like, you're all caught off guard. But
it was good that my actual store manager was there. He basically led the whole entire thing. Like it was as if he's been through this before, but he never been through it before. And he even said that everybody handled it really, really well. Like we all did as far as like, you know, our team. But it was so funny because a lot of the customers, even after that happened, they still wanted to shop.
I know, you know, but I feel like that would happen though.
It was weird. They were so upset that we were telling them they had to get out.
I feel it was weird that y'all were still there cleaning up.
You know, we had money everywhere because, mind you, customers, like in the middle of pain, customers like were trying on stuff. So as we're all running to the back alley, literally customers had on our merchandise. So if they wanted to leave, they could have left with our merchandise on.
Yeah, you're lucky I wasn't there trying on stuff.
Yeah, right. So we had to like take items from people, like shoes, you know what I mean? Like they're trying on stuff literally in the middle of everything. So when it was time to, let the customers leave the mall, we still had money out. We were like, okay, we need to put all this away, you know? And even when the SWAT team came, we still had all the money out. And they were like, look, we don't have time. So we just kind of like threw the money and left.
Loose cash.
Yes. And the doors weren't locked.
Wow.
Yeah. So if y'all felt like robbing Gucci that day, y'all could have, y'all could have had it. So
that's why y'all came back to kind of get things together. And then some people wanted to come back and shop.
Yeah. We just wanted to like clean up, and people were like sitting on the sofa, like waiting for us to come back into the store because we were in the back. So they were just like looking around. I was like, why are they still here? And we're like, we're closed. Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all need to get out. And they're like, oh, we can't shop? No. Y'all can come back tomorrow. Wow. And people were so upset. I just didn't understand. Like, somebody was in here shooting and y'all still want to shop, but
they don't even have all the information. But you know, they said that this month or the last month, May, that the sales went up like 18% compared to like last May or something like that.
Oh, I can see that.
And that, you know, the reason why is that everyone's been kind of quarantined for so long, and then as you know, things are reopening, people are catching up on all the things they haven't got a chance to get.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's Home like retail therapy too.
Yeah. So, you know, like the need for everyone to shop right now is very apparent, you know?
Oh, yeah. People are spending money.
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with the stimulus, though.
Yeah, it has. And the unemployment, that has a lot to do with it. Because even when we look at our numbers, let's say, for example, today, last year, we only did, let's just say 12,000. Today, we did like 40,000, you know? So we're like, as a store, we'll goal ourselves, okay, last year we did 12, let's shoot for 20, let's shoot for 15, let's shoot for 20, and then we end up doing almost triple.
Wow.
It's like, where are people getting this money from to just be shopping? And these aren't like our normal clients. These are new clients, brand new clients who are shopping at our stores. So it's just like, okay, where are y'all getting this money from? You know what I mean?
Man, that stimulus check, I mean, if you think about it, if you're getting, because you know the federal stimulus pays you $600 a week on top of what you're getting, and that I think that ends July 31st.
Yeah.
At least for now, that's what it said.
Right.
And a lot of that money that's coming in, people are saving.
Yeah.
People are doing all these different, you know, like I know people are spending. You know, now that there's a chance for you to kind of get a little extra drip, you know, they're like, all right, first place I'm hitting Gucci, then Louis.
Yeah. This one lady told me today, she said that she has 7 kids.
Wow.
Can you imagine how much her stimulus check was?
Man.
7 kids.
So she has 7 kids of her own.
Of her own.
Wow.
Her and her husband together, 7 kids.
Man, is she old? Is she an older woman?
No, her oldest is 18. So I said, what's the age difference? So she kind of broke it down to me, but she wasn't older. She had to have been like in her, I'm going to say like late 40s. She wasn't old, but her oldest was 18.
I wonder how all that works when you have kids after, not kids after, but if you have anything above like 6 kids.
Yeah.
It's like, I know I had employees in the past, okay, 2 of them that were working at the same time who had 8 kids each.
Yeah,
and I was just like, how do you even raise all those children? And, you know, some were different mothers and things like that. But some of them, you know, they grow up with the whole notion of like, I'm gonna be a Rolling Stone. I'm gonna go from spot to spot.
It's like once you have over 4 with the different women, and you have 4, it's like, yeah, what's another one?
Yeah, like what's gonna hurt?
Yeah, what's
and then some
one?
girls be like, you know, I just want to get pregnant.
True, but I mean,
yeah, I know that's a
let
whole.
me drink my tea. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day.
Yeah. So on the way home, you're shaking. You're all. So you feel better now? Are you okay now?
I'm all right, but I'm still a little bit on edge because I'm one of the managers and I open tomorrow. So I have to go into work and see all that chaos and try to figure out, okay, how can I put it back together before we open and still be like mentally okay? So it's just like a lot of stuff that's happening right now.
Y'all can't catch a break.
No, we can't.
Every week is, you know, it must be God telling y'all, don't open.
You know, it's so funny because we were talking about the Bible. Well, I wasn't talking, I was eavesdropping. And and they were talking about like my managers and stuff. We're talking about like the plagues that's listed in the Bible and all the stuff that's been happening. And I'm just listening like, oh, it's so true. It's so true. It's like so much crap that's happening. I mean, I don't want to get spiritual on people, but it's all in the Bible. You know, and I even brought this up to you, like, when the coronavirus first hit, when we were first quarantined, I was like, do you think this is like God's way of saying like the world is about to end soon? You know what I mean? Because it's like, how is it that the virus is only affecting older people and not children? You know? So it's just, I don't know. It's just
what
so
made you
weird.
what feature about older people did it make you feel that it was about to end?
Because children are so like pure, you know, and they're so innocent and they don't sin, you know, so the virus doesn't really affect them like it affects us adults who do sin. You know what I mean? So it just made me think of that. Like maybe it's maybe it's to wipe out the sinners and the children are pure and innocent, and you know, why do any harm to them? You know what I mean? I don't know. It just makes you like think about
it makes you
think
because it didn't affect kids at all. And you're like, something as horrible as you've been hearing and it's getting like it's spreading, and then kids are just having their time of their life. Yeah,
and then it's weird because kids are like the silent carriers. They have it, but they're not showing any symptoms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here we are. We have kids, and if we happen to get sick, you know, and the kids that get sick, they're fine. But us, we're like, you know, on our deathbed.
Yeah, and
you know
who knows, like if it gets you, you know, like when you get COVID, and then you don't know if you're gonna like perish from it.
Right.
You know how you're gonna react. So it's almost like trying to dodge a stray bullet.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't know what's gonna happen if that hit me, because you know sometimes you get a little light coughs and you're like, nah. But you know the reason I say y'all couldn't catch a break is when y'all closed due to this whole COVID-19. Then when y'all about to open, the protest hit.
Well, we were open. We were open for like a month.
Okay, yeah.
And then the protest hit, so we were closed for about a week. Yeah, we were closed. Yeah, like 6-7 days.
Yeah.
And then
the shooting. And this is all back to, this is traumatizing. This could be traumatizing.
That's what I'm saying, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see my face, the YouTube viewers. I am so tired. Like, I am mentally tired.
I have to fully agree that I haven't, been this tired, like emotionally and exhausted.
Just drained.
Yeah, super drained. And I try to be a person who like either brings light or brings the energy, because I feel like my cup runneth over. But, the hard part is that, it's so weird outside and it's so crazy that it's almost like you're better off just minding your business.
And that's kind of how I feel.
This is what I almost thought as like the hidden gift also about the whole, not the whole COVID-19 thing, but just everything that's going on. It started with COVID, which is, this is allowing you to like unknow certain things, unlearn certain things, undo certain things. It gives you the time to do that.
Yeah.
And it kind of like refocus, not on everything that's going on, but like on yourself and where do you stand and what do you feel is important to yourself? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
And, that type of growth and that type of discomfort, like going through that, it could be very tiring. But I feel like that's part of the process. You know what I mean? Of saying, okay, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to be extremely like tired through it, but when you're going through it, like how at least for myself, that I'm going through it,
Yeah.
it just feels like there's so much like things going on as far as like, where do you identify within society? You know, like I was telling you, like, I didn't know how I felt even about the whole, like, okay, when the whole Black Lives Matter started happening, you know, I kind of feel out. I already felt out of place because I'm Nigerian.
Yeah.
You know, so I felt like, okay, I'm Nigerian born here, first generation. So therefore, I'm not really all American. I'm not all Nigerian. So I'm in this little gray area.
Yeah.
And then this protest happens and it kind of, you know, brings to light all the injustices that have been happening.
Right.
And then I kind of didn't feel like even black the way that I thought I was, you know?
Yeah.
And it just, a lot of these type of revisiting and learning and understanding like the definition of things. Cause you know, they talk about how black people aren't, or just any people aren't a monolith. You know what they mean by that?
No.
A monolith meaning like when someone say black people are, we're not all the same. That's what they're saying.
Right.
You know, like you're different, you know, but then when it comes to, you know, I'm black, that's just a general term of if you have a certain skin tone. So it makes you break down to think like, how do I fit in when it comes to just kind of like identifying myself just based on skin tone?
Yeah.
You know, because in the past, I never really felt like I needed to identify my business as a black owned business.
Right.
I kind of felt out of place of putting that. And then I also kind of wanted to think that, you know, I want people to support my business because it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Not because it's black or it's minority owned or
Right,
it's this.
right.
So, you know, but then when the whole thing happened, it kind of, it's the first time ever that I hit on my Facebook, I went to the Waterboys one, right? And I hit invite friends. And then next you know, like 200 people go into my, you know, like my group, or not group, but my page and everything like that. And I was just like, someone was like, oh man, your page is going up. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like, did someone write an article on y'all or what's happening? There's like, I was like, oh, I just hit invite.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it's been this long. You haven't even tapped into your own network. I'm like, honestly, before I wasn't even comfortable doing that. But for some reason I'm more comfortable now, not because I feel like I need to stand out as a black, you know, business owner.
Yeah.
But then I feel like there needs to be better representation of those who are black, who do business, who are trying to do it in a way that is representative of a high quality product or high quality service, you know?
Right.
So I just kind of been battling between like, where do I fit in this whole thing? And it's exhausting. And I the last few days I've been super tired just because, I mean, you're not on social media. So like I guess it's kind of a gift and a curse, or you think it's just a gift?
I mean, it depends on how you take it.
How about for yourself?
For me, it's a gift. I mean, it's a gift and a curse because I'm not aware of everything that's happening in the world. Like even today, I was like, they still protesting? You know what I mean? Like I have no clue. I don't watch the news. I try not to read like newspaper articles and stuff like that.
Why?
Because it's just a lot. It's just a lot that's happening. And I mean, every now and then I'll tap into like Yahoo News because I'll get it in my email and I'll just look and I'm like, okay, well, let me read a little bit on it. But it's just so much. It's just, you know, it just drains me. It just takes a lot of my it just puts me in a place, in a mood, in a negative spot that I don't want to be. And I always want to be like a positive person.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, I need to be aware and informed about everything that's happening, but it just always puts me in such a negative space. So I just try to keep myself away from things that like bring me down and just focus on, you know, my family and me and what we have going on. Even though I do support Black Lives Matter, we have, you know, the sign in front of our yard, which is really cool. But, you know, I just try to like not pay attention to like all the stuff that's going on in the world right now. It's just too much for me.
And that's hard for me because like I was telling you, I want to be informed, but yet I don't want to, because everything I'm talking about, NPR, CNN, social media, Twitter, everything is just a lot going on. But that's where it makes me sometimes feel like I'm almost like weak by not, you know, like really feeling it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like trying to, you know, protect your peace and do all this. And you can't avoid what's real. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I don't want to walk outside and not be aware of what my surroundings are based on something that I'm not informed of. Yeah. So on one hand, you know, I want to feel it, but then when I feel it, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's me. I don't want to feel it. Nope. because I feel like that's gonna, for me, it just breaks me down. It chips away at me, and I feel like I need to be like a strong woman. I need to be a strong person to make it day by day and to like take care of the family. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when I read stuff like that, it just makes me even more angry, and it just makes me upset, and just makes me so moody, you know? And then I just like, oh, it's just another thing that happened. Or did you see this video? And then, you know, I have my friends who send me stuff. You send me stuff. So I am aware of what's happening, but it's just that when you see it on social media and everybody's commenting,
that's the worst.
That's the worst. You know, I could see the video and I could be like, damn, that's crazy. That's messed up, you know? But then when I read the comments, that's what's too much for me.
Yeah, that's where it gets really toxic for me as well. Because when I go in the comments, I see arguments and I see ignorance.
Yeah, ignorance.
And you know, there's nothing. You know, I wish there's a way to rid like something of ignorance, but it'll always be there. There'll be a sharp contrast of a very what do you call it? Articulate, ignorant person, a very ignorant person who can't even spell anything correctly, and everyone's screaming at each other about one thing, and you know, you don't even know what to believe because a lot of it has to be sold, you know?
Exactly.
And that's why I said you got to like discount for the exaggeration.
Yeah, you do. But see, I don't be having time for that.
Yeah, but this is like, again, so do you feel like this is like, okay, we have another, like, I guess 5.5 months to the end of the year.
I cannot believe that. First of all, this year went by too fast. Well, we already halfway in. It just went by so quick. I'm like, I remember getting huddling up at work middle of March to say, okay, we're closed and we don't know when we're going to come back. And now that it's almost July, it's like, damn, these months went by so fast, and they haven't been good months. You know what I mean?
They have not.
Like, they have not been good months. So it's just like,
I'm trying to reframe. I'm trying to reframe the whole, you know, people like, look, if you live your life by memes, you're doing the wrong thing. That's how I think, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of people share these memes that kind of, you know, like speak to their narrative, right? And one of them kind of like, you know, kind of got me on a more positive outlook of 2020. And it said, how 2020 was a year for you to rid yourself of all distractions and to just be focused on things that you couldn't see before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like kind of like refocusing the whole, this was your greatest year to like actually be awakened of the things you didn't see before.
I like that. I mean, but the things that we're seeing now is nothing new. You know what I mean? This stuff has been happening for generations after generations. So it's nothing new that what we're experiencing right now. It's just,
I feel like this is nothing new, but it's very different.
It's different, and it's being filmed. You know what I mean? So there's proof of what's happening. So it's not by hearsay, you know? So I think that's the difference. It's not somebody telling you or you reading it from the newspaper what the situation happens. Like, you can actually see it with your own eyes, what's happening. And I think that's what's the difference. But it keeps happening, and it's happening so often. It's like every day you wake up, there's a new incident. Yeah, there's a new story of
people being hung.
Yeah.
And
what's up with that?
Protesters going missing. And, you know, that is wild that a lot of these new things are like popping up. But see, the crazy part is like this happened during like stay at home worldwide pandemic. Right. Everyone had no choice but to pay attention to it. So exactly. That with the whole George Floyd thing made it to where it's like, whoa,
yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? And then everything that's coming now, because I'm starting to see look, every time a big incident happens, this is where it starts like this. Everyone's behind it, and then people try to figure out where's the L's, where's the things that don't work in it, and then they give their like opposite response, their defense, you know, and then both keep coming back with clever, you know, like quips and things about, you know, their message or whatever. Then eventually, I feel like it's starting to happen now where it doesn't really matter what happens. People are kind of over it because they think it's all a conspiracy, or they think it's all, because once the conspiratory type stuff comes into it, then there's really nothing. You can't believe anything. No,
that's true.
And it's hard, you know, because you don't want to believe conspiracies. Like we was talking about this before.
I think last episode.
Yeah, you don't want to believe it, but then you're like, you know what I mean?
Like maybe.
But like, since it's 5.5 months, how do you want to spend the last 5.5 months? Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to focus on?
Let's go on vacation. That's
first and
No, I'm just
foremost.
kidding.
No, for real.
I mean, if we can, I already started looking at flights yesterday.
Your homegirl finding Hawaii trips
for like $250 round trip,
get out of
7
here.
days.
Hawaii?
That's what I was looking up yesterday. I'm like, look, we need to go on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to get away. I ain't trying to wear this mask no more. Like, I ain't trying to wear these gloves.
You trying to do? You want to go to Hawaii this year?
Let's go somewhere. Where is there like a country where there's no COVID-19? Like Alaska,
New Zealand.
or something,
I think
right?
New Zealand.
Let's go to New Zealand.
You know, I was looking up. New Zealand is one of the top places that you could get rich and do business in.
Well, let's go there. Let's pack the kids up. I'm ready. And we probably got COVID-19. We're gonna go bring it over there.
Everyone's always said like, I think I had it around.
I know,
Christmas
right?
time.
But what is it called when you have it or you don't show any symptoms?
Asymptomatic.
See, asymptomatic. That's us.
Yeah.
We're gonna go over there and just start spreading it.
I got a friend who got stuck in Argentina. He was there for like an extra 3 weeks just because.
Oh no!
Like it started the wave started hitting America first, and then he was in Argentina. Him and his wife couldn't get back for like another 3 weeks.
Oh, I hope they had enough money saved up for that part.
Yeah, I know, right?
You'd be having it to budget. You got enough money for the week that you're there, but then 2 weeks, you're like, damn, how we gonna make it?
I know you only went there for tacos. You're like, damn, I got no more money.
Oh man, that's so funny. But one thing that was funny when we were when we all had to leave when the shooting started, I could not stop laughing. There was this one guy who always shops with us, and he's kind of like a OG, like an old gangster type guy.
He got a suit?
No, he's like, I think he's from Dallas, but he's like, those older guys that try to be young.
Yeah.
Him and his wife try to be hip.
Yeah.
He's like in his I want to say maybe like mid 50s, and they're just like trying to dress cool, but you could tell they old, with the braids and stuff. It was so funny. We were all in the back, and he was just like, he's like, all right, y'all, I gotta go. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna be there tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna see you later. He just peaced out. We were like, there's somebody shooting in him, and then he left before we even got any type of information. And it was just so funny because me and my other coworker, we were just cracking jokes like, he got warrants. He got you hear the sirens going off outside.
All right,
we're like, he got a gun on him. He was like, all right, y'all, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow, okay? He ran out there so quick, we were dying. He disappeared so quick. As soon as he heard them sirens, he was like, all right, y'all, I'm gonna see y'all gonna be open tomorrow? All right, cool, I'm gonna be here tomorrow. I was like, look at him, he got warrants. He running from somebody.
It's weird the things that you're used to, because you said you've never been involved in like a shooting incident, but there's like suicides that happen. Yeah,
at my mall, I've been there for almost 6 years, and I've heard of maybe like 3 suicides.
Like people jumping off
the garage, like the I don't know, maybe like 6-level, 7-level garage.
Do they actually die, or do they get injured?
No, they die.
Wow.
And then one time, I can't remember. I told you the story, but I really can't remember if I was there at work or I was actually working at Gucci, or this happened before I started working with the company. But we have an ice skating rink in our mall, just like Houston Galleria. And we're on the ice skating rink is on the basement level. We're on the first level of shopping. So someone was on the 3rd level, jumped and killed himself, landed on the ice skating rink. Yeah, so I was just like, I can't remember if I was like employed at Gucci and I happened to be off that day. I don't really remember, but yeah, that happens not a lot, but that has happened a few times since I've been working there. But as far as shooting, no, that's never happened since I've been working there. And one of my coworkers, he's been in that mall for almost 10 years. He said he's never witnessed anything like that before either.
Wow, that's crazy. When we were talking about the earlier topic about the, people who were found like hung.
Yeah.
I was telling your sister about it, her baby sister Doe, and she was like,
Doe.
What's going on out here? What's going on out here?
Y'all think I'm a firecracker. This girl.
Yeah.
Ooh, Lord.
Yeah. And she was talking about like how, like, I don't want to get into conspiracies, but do you feel that, maybe like the black person, who was hung, you think like they might be already suicidal and they hang themselves so they could, in essence, have it blamed on like a white person?
See, that sounds like a conspiracy theory. I mean, I would hate to think that they would do that, but
I know. I was like, I don't think
that's a lot of work. How can you? Oh, well, you can hang yourself from a tree.
Yeah, you can hang yourself from a tree. And
but that don't. But one person I read, she was like stabbed a couple of times before she was hung, right?
I think so. I'm not
I
sure.
think was she pregnant? I don't know. I feel like I read something about a girl who was found hung in a tree, but she also had stab wounds. Mm-hmm. So I doubt that she's stabbing herself and then she's gonna go hang herself.
Yeah, there's a guy. This happened like last year where a guy was found hung, and it's like, oh, he committed suicide. And I'm like, who commits suicide that way? It's such a peculiar way of like going up in a tree, doing all that, and then like I don't feel like they really honor or promote those type of deaths. So it's not like you can say like, ooh, everyone's gonna know about this because you really don't even know they happen. I don't think that's like a thing where someone's like, okay, if I go do it, they're gonna put me on the news and they're gonna do an investigation. Right. They're gonna find these people. I don't think people think of it that way.
And it's not on camera. You would think with all this, camera. Is it? Oh, I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm asking many questions. Look, I'm so tired, but yeah, I would think that all this would be on camera.
Yeah, but I wish. I wish that because George Floyd being on camera was a game changer. Mm-hmm. And if there could be like a hanging where you can actually see someone actually like being like malicious in that sense and doing it, and us having proof. Now that would create like supreme change. Mm-hmm. Trump did a executive order where he made what do you call those chokeholds? Mm-hmm. He said he banned it only in case only could be used when the officer feels that his life is in danger. Right? It does nothing.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, I was like, so like most of the time they feel like that. Yeah, exactly. He could just say, I feel like my life is in danger. Right. Then he sent another executive order that there'll be close monitoring of police officers who are fired for misconduct going to another state or municipality to go work. And, all, police stations and all that are kind of independent. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like,
y'all go vote. How about that? Y'all just go vote because.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all vote. Make sure y'all vote. Everybody go vote.
Yeah. Everyone go vote, because this is, again, this is kind of like gesturing towards like the black community saying, hey, I'm working for y'all. When he didn't even mention the whole Ahmaud Arbery. He didn't mention hardly anything about George Floyd. Yeah. All of a sudden he says, this is what I'm going to do for when it comes to chokeholds and when it comes to police. It's just almost just like fake signaling. He's just signaling that he's putting something to action with his powers, but nothing's really happening.
You would think he would just fake it till he make it.
Who? I mean, he has been faking it.
I mean, but you would think he would be out there like fake crying to like the black community just so he could get our votes. Yeah, but you would think he would just like play the game, but he ain't playing no game.
He had his first rally for his presidential campaign.
That was what, today or yesterday?
No. It was supposed to be on June 19th.
Oh, okay.
And then
he changed it.
Yeah, he said, I talked to some of my friends in the black community.
Lord, you ain't got no friends in the black community. Stop playing. And he said
they told me that that would be offensive if I had it on that day, so I'm moving it to the 20th.
First of all, you ain't got no friends in the black community.
Yeah, so for him to kind of talk like that, it's just all over the place. But
it's so all over the place.
Okay, I got a good word for you.
What's that?
What? I was about to say you want to guess, but
I'm about to say you want me to go grab a dictionary.
Ineffable.
Well, I feel like I've heard that before. Or maybe I've heard inevitable. Inevitable?
Yeah, inevitable.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So what's the word?
Ineffable.
Ineffable. That sounds like a girl who you can't. Who you're like, nah, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, or is that uneffable?
Uneffable.
Oh
no. Uneffable will be a person that you can't touch. Like either she's that bad, like on a bad level.
Or she's that dirty.
Or she's that,
Ineffable.
Yeah, ineffable.
What does that mean?
And that's like beyond expression, like beyond words. Like I can't even, like my joy is ineffable. It's like, so I can't even put in words how I feel.
Oh, wow. Wait, so is that a positive thing or it could be both?
I think it's a positive thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's depending on how you use it, the context, but when something's ineffable, it's like beyond expression, like beyond, you can't put it in words. Yeah. And I actually used that a little bit. I didn't use ineffable, but I mentioned it about it's hard to describe like this year.
Yeah.
True. And this year has been very ineffable. It's like how do you describe it? I can't find it. You know, I kept trying to find the words, and the closest words I found was weird.
I knew you was gonna say weird. It's been weird as hell.
Yeah, and when I stumbled upon like ineffable, I'm like, that is like much closer because I can't really express what it is, you know, but that's what that is.
Yeah, this weird. This year has been testing.
Yeah, super testing.
Man.
But I do think that it's a good time to unlearn and unknow people, and just kind of like get yourself right. You know, like that didn't stop at the beginning, and I don't think it's stopping now, where you still have the opportunity, because there's no parties going on. You know,
well, yeah, people are partying.
People partying like that.
Oh yeah, my coworker went to the club this past Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, they are partying.
Yeah, he came to work hungover. I was like, "Did you go out?" He was like, "Man, I'm hungover." I was like, oh, "Did you go to the club? Did you wear a mask?" No. Of course not. Of course not. But he's in the nightlife, so you know.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Man, could you be in that life?
No, not at this age. Heck no. I mean, we did it when we were younger, like early 20s, especially after college. Oh my God. Well, in New Orleans, that's all we did every single day. We partied. But, I mean, that was kind of like the whole reason why I moved to Dallas, to kind of get away from that lifestyle. I just felt like that's all I was doing. So I was like, why did I go to college? You know what I mean? So now you can't even pay me to go to a party.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'd be too tired.
Too tired.
I'd be too tired.
Someone said something clever, eyes, EYES. It says eyes tired.
That's me.
And they're like this.
Oh my God, that is me. 100%.
So anything else you want to kind of share? I know your parents just left. I mean, your mom just left.
Yeah, Hell Week is over, guys.
Well, it's always hard. It was hard this time. Not
as hard.
It's not. Let me try to get all my words out.
Yeah, you get your words out.
Bly, and then her mom and her sister came to visit with their with the dog Ginger, who's also a girl. So that's 4 girls
and 3 boys. And the 2 babies.
Yeah, and it's always really kind of it's kind of tight. But I always survive it. You did good. You always do good. You always do great. It's not cliche. You know, when people say all the stuff, not stuff, but
the in-laws are coming in town.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
But then when you if you break down what it is, like I said it before, is that when someone's in your home, anybody's in your home, you got to be on. And sometimes you don't want to be on.
You don't feel like it.
Yeah. Even when you're asleep, you're still on.
No, yeah, you're right. Even, I mean, I have to entertain, and sometimes I don't want to. I just want to come home from work and just, lay down.
I got to come up with that. Hey, what's going on? Hey, big hug.
Yeah, I got to make breakfast every morning. I got to figure out what we're going to eat for lunch. I got to cook dinner. So sometimes I don't be feeling like doing that either. So trust me, I get it. I mean, it wasn't Hell Week for me, but, It
wasn't Hell Week. And that's definitely an exaggeration. I just think that not being able to win around...
Oh, you can't win. Not around 3
strong women. No,
man, no
indeed. Your mom is always gonna, hit me, where it hurts, and then
you think I'm quick with it. She extra quick with it.
And then your sister, she always got your back.
Yeah. Don't do my sister like that. don't you talk to my sister like that.
Wow. So
it's all good though.
So any other type of I asked you what you want to do for the rest of this year, and you kind of just mentioned. Traveling, just want to do something different. Get out the house to do. Yeah,
I just want to just cleanse. I need a cleanse, a spiritual cleanse. We've been doing this every Wednesday, which is what's today?
Today's Tuesday.
Okay, so we've been doing the marriage couple. I don't know what it's called.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 20-minute thing on Facebook where a pastor and his wife just gives great advice. So I always feel great about that because after that we like to talk about what we learned and how we can
and it helps a lot.
Yeah, it helps a lot. So that's, I think just doing different things, just to kind of take your mind away from all the craziness that's happening in the world. I like that. So yeah. And then we plan on doing the landscaping, a lot of outdoor stuff to our home. So I'm excited about that too.
Yeah. I just want to focus on myself, especially this year, for the rest of this year. And then also focus on and by myself, I mean, my business, my family,
Yeah.
everything that's like super important to me as far as like growing that while I don't
Exactly.
have any of these other like distractions. Because
Right.
these things do come in and they do kind of like seduce you into thinking that it's more important than what you got going on. But I don't think there's anything more important than focusing on yourself.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, just because it's on TV doesn't mean it like we have to have it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
I agree.
yeah, it's been a good episode. I got her out of her little comfort zone of
Man.
it being late. We used to do this
I
during
was
the
taking
day.
a nap. I had to take a nap before I did this.
Well,
But
that's
I'm
over
here.
now.
I know, right?
We'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Peace out. And learn to unlearn things that no longer serve you in a world where all things are possible.